Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series, the 2023-24 college basketball season prediction show. This show will be for the mid and low majors. We're going to start the Atlantic Sun. So, first place I have Eastern Kentucky. Second, Lipscomb. Third, Kennesaw State. Fourth, Stetson. Fifth, Florida Gulf Coast. Sixth, North Alabama. Seventh, Austin Peay. Eighth, Bellarmine. Ninth, Queens. 10th, Jacksonville. 11th, Central Arkansas. 12th, North Florida. Player of the Year, Devontae Blanton of Eastern Kentucky. Coach of the Year, I have A.W. Hamilton of Eastern Kentucky. And now here we're just not going to do predictions and whatnot for each league because these are like the smaller schools, so we're just going to do this rapid fire style. America East, I have winning the league Bryant. Second, Vermont. Third, UMass Lowell. Fourth, Maine. Fifth, Binghamton. Sixth, New Hampshire. Seventh, UMBC. Eighth, Albany. And ninth, NJIT. Player of the Year, Sharif Gross-Bullock of Bryant. And Coach of the Year, Jared Grasso of Bryant. Okay, now the Big Sky. First, I have Weber State. Second, Montana. Third, Eastern Washington. Fourth, Portland State. Fifth, Sac State. Sixth, Idaho State. Seventh, Montana State. Eighth, Northern Arizona. Ninth, Northern Colorado. 10th, Idaho. Player of the Year, I have Dylan Jones of Weber State. Coach of the Year, Eric Duft of Weber State. Big South. First, I have Radford. Second, Winthrop. Third, UNC Asheville. Fourth, Gardner-Webb. Fifth, UNC Upstate. Sixth, Longwood. Seventh, Charleston Southern. Eighth, High Point. Ninth, Presbyterian. Player of the Year, I have Drew Pember of UNC Asheville. Coach of the Year, Darius Nichols of Radford. The Big West, I have winning the league Long Beach State. Second, UC Santa Barbara. Third, Hawaii. Fourth, UC Davis. Fifth, UC Irvine. Sixth, Cal State Fullerton. Seventh, UC San Diego. Eighth, UC Riverside. Ninth, Cal State Bakersfield. 10th, Cal State Northridge. And 11th, Cal Poly. Player of the Year, Lucina Traore of Long Beach State. Coach of the Year, Dan Monson of Long Beach State. Conference USA. Boy, is this conference falling from grace. I have winning the league Middle Tennessee. Second, Western Kentucky. Third, Liberty. Fourth, Louisiana Tech. Fifth, UTEP. Sixth, Florida International. Seventh, Sam Houston. Eighth, New Mexico State. And ninth, Jacksonville State. Player of the Year, I have Isaiah Crawford of Louisiana Tech. Coach of the Year, I have Nick McDevitt of Middle Tennessee. The Colonial, I have Charleston winning the league. Second, Drexel. Third, Wilmington. Fourth, Hofstra. Fifth, Towson. Sixth, Delaware. Seventh, Stony Brook. Eighth, Alon. Ninth, Northeastern. 10th, Campbell. 11th, William & Mary. 12th, Monmouth. 13th, Hampton. 14th, NCA&T. Player of the Year, I have Amari Williams of Drexel. Coach of the Year, Pat Kelsey of Charleston. Next up, I have the Horizon League. First, Wright State. Second, Northern Kentucky. Third, Milwaukee. Fourth, Cleveland State. Fifth, Oakland. Sixth, Youngstown State. Seventh, Robert Morris. Eighth, IUPUI. Ninth, Purdue Fort Wayne. 10th, Detroit Mercy. 11th, Green Bay. Player of the Year, Trey Calvin of Wright State. Coach of the Year, Scott Nagy of Wright State. All right, the Ivy League. I'm winning that Yale. Second, Princeton. Third, Brown. Fourth, Cornell. Fifth, Penn. Sixth, Harvard. Seventh, Dartmouth. Eighth, Columbia. Player of the Year, Matt Noling of Yale. Coach of the Year, James Jones of Yale. All right, the MAC. First, I have Kent State. Second, Akron. Third, Ohio. Fourth, Northern Illinois. Fifth, Miami of Ohio. Sixth, Toledo. Seventh, Bowling Green. Eighth, Ball State. Ninth, Buffalo. 10th, Eastern Michigan. 11th, Western Michigan. And 12th, Central Michigan. Player of the Year, I have Ali Ali of Akron. And Coach of the Year, I have Rob Senderoff of Kent State. All right. Next up is the MAC, the MAAC. I have winning league rider, second Iona, third Quinnipiac, fourth Canisius, fifth Fairfield, sixth Mount St. Mary's, seventh Siena, eighth Marist, ninth St. Peter's, 10th Niagara, 11th Manhattan. Player of the Year, I have Mervyn James of Rider. Coach of the Year, Kevin Baggett of Rider. Next up, I have the MEAC. I have winning the league Howard, second Delaware State, who I think will be improved, third Norfolk State, fourth Morgan State, fifth NC Central, sixth SC State, seventh Maryland Eastern Shore, and eighth Coppin State. Player of the Year, Shai Odom of Howard. Coach of the Year, Kenny Blackney of Howard. All right, the Missouri Valley. This league is usually good for a mid-major league. First, I have Drake, second Northern Iowa, third Indiana State, fourth Bradley, fifth Missouri State, sixth Belmont, seventh Murray State, eighth Evansville, ninth Illinois State, 10th Southern Illinois, 11th UIC, 12th Valparaiso. Player of the Year, I have Tucker DeVries of Drake. Coach of the Year, I have Dorian Dale DeVries of Drake. Who obviously is the dad of Tucker, which is a cool story for itself. The NEC, I have winning the league Sacred Heart, second Fairleigh Dickinson, who obviously pulled off the 16 over 1 last year. Third, I have Central Connecticut State, fourth Stonehill, fifth Merrimack, sixth Wagner, seventh LIU, eighth St. Francis, PA, and ninth Lemoyne. Lemoyne new to the league. St. Francis, Brooklyn. Used to be in the league. But they're no longer there, which is unfortunate for the league. Player of the Year, I have Nico Gillette of Sacred Heart. Coach of the Year, Anthony Latina of Sacred Heart. The OVC, which is a decent league. First FSO, Edwardsville. Second, Morehead State. Third, Tennessee State. Fourth, Tennessee Martin. Fifth, Tennessee Tech. Sixth, Little Rock. Seventh, Southeastern Missouri. Eighth, Lindenwood. Ninth, Western Illinois. 10th, Southern Indiana. 11th, Eastern Illinois. Player of the Year, I have Mark Freeman of Morehead State. Coach of the Year, I have Brian Baroni of SIU Edwardsville. The Patriot League's next. First, I have Colgate. Second, Lehigh. Third, American. Fourth, Boston University. Fifth, Holy Cross. Sixth, Loyola Maryland. Seventh, Lafayette. Eighth, Navy. Ninth, Bucknell. 10th, Army. Player of the Year, Keegan Records of Colgate. Coach of the Year, Matt Langle of Colgate. Next up, we'll do the SWAC. First, I have Jackson State. Second, Texas Southern. Third, Alcorn State. Fourth, Grambling. Fifth, Southern. Sixth, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Seventh, Alabama State. Eighth, Bethune-Cookman. Ninth, Prairie View A&M. 10th, Alabama A&M. 11th, Florida A&M. And 12th, Mississippi Valley State. Player of the Year, Chase Adams of Jackson State. Coach of the Year, Mo Williams of Jackson State, the former NBA guard. Next up will be the SoCon. First, Western Carolina. Second, Furman. Third, UNC Greensboro. Fourth, Sanford. Fifth, Chattanooga. Sixth, Mercer. Seventh, East Tennessee State. Eighth, Wofford. Ninth, the Citadel. 10th, VMI. Player of the Year, Ventarius Woolbright of Western Carolina. Coach of the Year, Justin Gray of Western Carolina. Now I'll do the Southland. First, I have McNeese. Second, Southeastern Louisiana. Third, New Orleans. Fourth, Nichols. Fifth, Houston Christian. Sixth, Texas A&M Commerce. Seventh, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Eighth, Northwestern State. Ninth, Lamar. 10th, Incarnate Word. Player of the Year, Christian Shoemate of McNeese. Coach of the Year, Will Wade McNeese, the former LSU coach. Yes, he's at McNeese now. All right, next up will be the Summit League. Coming in first in the league, I have South Dakota State. Second, Oral Roberts. Third, North Dakota State. Fourth, St. Thomas. Fifth, Omaha. Sixth, North Dakota. Seventh, South Dakota. Eighth, Denver. Ninth, Kansas City. Player of the Year, Zeke Mayo of South Dakota State. Coach of the Year, Eric Henderson, South Dakota State. All right, the Sun Belt. First, Appalachian State. Second, James Madison. Third, Old Dominion. Fourth, Southern Miss. Fifth, Louisiana. Sixth, Troy. Seventh, Marshall. Eighth, South Alabama. Ninth, Georgia State. 10th, Arkansas State. 11th, Texas State. 12th, Yale Monroe. 13th, Coastal Carolina. 14th, Georgia Southern. Player of the Year, Terrence Edwards Jr. of James Madison. Coach of the Year, Dustin Kearns of App State. Next up, and last but not least, the WAC. I have winning the league, Grand Canyon. Second, Stephen F. Austin. Third, Seattle. Fourth, Utah Valley. Fifth, Abilene Christian. Sixth, Cal Baptist. Seventh, Tarleton State. Eighth, Texas Arlington. Ninth, Texas Rio Grande Valley. 10th, Southern Utah. 11th, Utah Tech. Player of the Year, Ray Harrison of Grand Canyon. And Coach of the Year, Bryce Drew of Grand Canyon. Okay. Now we're going to predict most likely teams that have a shot to potentially get an at-large in some of these lower or middle majors. Okay, so I know SoCon's had multi-bid leagues before. Summit League could have done it. OVC, Missouri Valley. Like, we've seen some of these leagues in the past. Conference USA, I think, did last year or almost did. Or we word it this way. Maybe like a team like FAU where you're not a 12 seed or lower. We could word it that way too. So I have Bryant obviously in the dance. Weber State, Radford, Long Beach State. Conference USA, maybe like if Middle Tennessee's like freaking awesome and Western Kentucky sneaks in and is good, maybe that's a scenario. But I think it's more likely you see something like that in the WCC or the A10. Colonial, it could happen. Maybe Charleston can end up in the top 11 seed because last year actually they were a 12 seed. But maybe they could be better than that. I have them in the tournament. I have Wright State in the tournament. I don't see that league having multi-bids. Ivy League, Yale I have in. The MAC, maybe Kent and Akron. Maybe if one of them's like amazing and the other wins the tournament, conference tournament. The MAC, I have Ryder in there. Don't see that happening. Howard in the MEAC. Maybe Missouri Valley with Drake and maybe Northern Iowa. Maybe you have two teams in that league. Or maybe Drake's gets the one bid and they're like a 10 seed maybe. The NACL, I have Sacred Heart. The OVC, maybe Edwardsville and Morehead State, maybe, or Edwardsville's a higher, or Morehead State's a higher seed than expected kind of deal. Maybe one of them is like a random 10 seed. Patriot League, it's going to be Colgate. SWAC's going to be Jackson State. SoCon will be Western. Southland will be McNeese. Summit, South Dakota State. Or maybe that's a good one. Maybe South Dakota State only has like 3 losses all year. And one of them's in the conference tournament, and Earl Roberts wins the auto bid. That could be two bids. Or South Dakota State is just a top 10 seed because they're awesome kind of deal. And maybe in the Sun Belt, you could see with App State and James Madison, maybe App State only has 4 losses, and James Madison only has like 5 losses, and one of them wins the auto, the other could be like an 11 seed going to Dayton kind of deal. Or maybe one of them ends up a top 10 seed. And then the WAC, I have Grand Canyon in there, but I don't see anybody like challenging to make that an unexpected 2-bid league or whatever. All right, so there you have it for the mid-major section of the podcast. Next is going to be the big season predictions.